What's up, everybody? Kyle here with True North Lens, and today I'm going to be talking with all of you about photo and video contracts. Contracts are an essential part of almost every business. Now, the reason they're so important is because you have a formal agreement or document that outlines everything that's to be expected of your exchange with the customer or vice versa. And when everything is outlined, agreed upon, and signed, they can't then down the road go and say, there was a misunderstanding, I didn't get this and you promised this. That's what the contract's for. Has everything for you, cut and dry. Now, I know some people don't feel like writing a contract, whether it be their family or friends or whatever. Don't skip the contract. I get it. You don't want to give them a piece of paper that screams, I don't trust you. But at the end of the day, you're covering not only yourself as a business, but them as well. Nobody's perfect and people mess up all the time. They can't say you messed up without proof of what you promised them. And likewise, you can't prove that they didn't pay you unless there was an agreed upon price. I'm gonna go over with you guys what I think is important to have in a contract. Now let me throw out a disclaimer first and foremost. This is just things I have in my contract. It's not always a binding contract, depending on who you're working with, what it's for, and whether or not you got your contract approved legally. So come on over here to my computer and I'll show you what I got for a contract. Now, the biggest things you want to have in here is your who, what, where, when, why, and price. Now, I have those essential items kind of broken up into separate paragraphs. You can format this contract any which way you find necessary for your business. So right here, I have what I call the entire agreement. In this paragraph, I summarize a statement saying that everything following this is going to be agreed upon before any formal event happens. I have something in here about a retainer fee. This is a quick summary saying that there will be a set price. This is what I have for reservation, event schedule. This is where it's important to add in where this is going to be happening and when. I go into a lot of detail because I want to make sure that I'm covered at all times. One of the things I have here is safety. Now, whether it's myself or somebody that works with me, I want to guarantee our safety, and if something comes up that could manipulate that or make it sketchy and for any reason at all, I can call it quits and I'm covered just because of what I wrote here. Now, I know I said event schedule up here, but down here I have shooting time and additions. So your event schedule is just kind of an outline of what you're going to be shooting. Your shooting time I broke down separately along with location and all that. Having a set schedule gives you and your customer something to work off of. If the schedule ends up running behind due to no cause of your own, it is what it is, and as they always say, the show must go on. You continue on down that schedule, and if you have time to come back and recover the rest, go for it. Right here I go into expenses, and I think this is important because it covers you and the people that work with you, whether it be travel costs, food costs, per diem type of rate, and if you're driving, it covers your mileage. You can set it to whatever you want. That's the nice thing about having your own contract. Set it how you want it. You could even change it per person or per customer. It doesn't matter. Now, as far as responsibilities go, you want to make it cut and dry. Things that are out of your control are out of your control, and there's nothing you can do about it, whether it be weather or somebody is late, power outages at your event. One of the most important parts about this is right here. The company will not be held accountable for failure to deliver images of any individuals or any objects at the events. As the creator or photographer or videographer, it is up to you what you want to edit and what you want to look nice for the client. I get that you agree on certain things and they want certain aspects in their videos, or certain things are discussed that they want captured, whether it be at a wedding and they want a video of the first dance, or it be a promotional video for a company and they want their logo stamped somewhere in that video. What this is saying is that everything you capture is not held liable to hand over to them. You pick and choose what you edit and what your final cut is, and you give that to them. Now, I know some of the verbiage in this contract focuses more on weddings, but like I said, you can adjust this to each client and use it for whatever you need. Moving forward, I go into permits and film and copyrights. So permits is important because you want to make sure that you're allowed to film there. Some places have laws in place. One of the biggest scenarios you run into for this is drones. Drones can't be flown everywhere. You have to be mindful of that. I have it outlined here that it is the sole responsibility of the client to make sure that I'm allowed to fly my drone there. This keeps me covered. Moving into film and copyrights. You're not required to hand over every photograph or every cut of video that you took that day or throughout the entire process. And I go on to say that I will be handing that to them, whether it be a disc or a flash drive or through cloud or Google Drive. All that is agreed upon in the contract. And I have it here that I give the client permission to share these images, whether it be on social media or for their friends, they want to share it with them. But once I edit them and I send it back to them and they're happy with the final product, they are no longer allowed to edit them. They can post them, they can share them, but they can't sit there and tamper the images and post it as their own and claim it as their own. As a creator, you're protected by the copyright laws, and anything you produce within your camera is yours and yours only. Now I get it, you don't want to sound stuck up or, no, I'm not sharing my stuff with you because it's mine. At the end of the day, photographers and videographers are gonna want the customer to be happy. We're gonna share with you everything that we have. My goal is I will send an image or I will send a video to my client and ensure that they are completely satisfied with the product. If they say these pictures turned out horrible, or I don't like the way you edited this certain picture or this video, I'll go back and I'll change it. I'm there for the satisfaction of the customer. Now, not all companies are like that. Some of them may say this is the final cut, that's what you get, that's what you're stuck with. The biggest piece of advice is if you're taking photos for somebody, do not ever give them the raw images. You edit the pictures how you want them, send them to them, make sure they're happy, call it a day. If you give them the raw images, they then have your original copy that they can do whatever they want with, and it would be tough for you to trace back and prove. Moving forward, if you have a website or you have your own Instagram for your business, I have written in here a model release. By signing this contract, they're agreeing that I can post pictures of them or the videos that I took of them to my own site to build my portfolio. One of the final, most important things is limit of liability. As I said earlier, not everybody's perfect, but also not every piece of equipment is perfect. I don't care whether you bring one camera, two cameras, or a whole backpack full of cameras and gear. Things happen, gear fails, it rains and it ruins your equipment, or you drop your camera. What this liability statement encompasses is that if something happens to your footage, or the memory card gets reformatted for some reason, or it fails to capture anything, and you didn't get anything but a couple pictures at the beginning, and that's it, well, I'm sorry it didn't work out. I'm sorry something failed. This is out of my control. I will try to do my best to recover what I can, and whatever I can recover, I'm gonna give to you, and I will give you back a percentage of the price we agreed upon. And then working towards the end, you have the payment schedule, post-production and editing, how long you expect your turnaround time to be, how much you want them to put down when you agree on the price, and then you get into their understanding, your understanding, and a final agreement of signing the contract between you and your client or clients. And there you have it. There's my version of a contract. Feel free to use some of the things I put in my own contract, but be mindful, as I said earlier, it doesn't apply to every situation and every legal aspect. I suggest taking it to a lawyer to have them look at it and approve of it, or have you change some words and adjust it to where it becomes cut and dry and concrete. So that's it. That's all I have for you guys today. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring that bell so you don't miss any further videos. Hit that like button so again I know if I'm doing this YouTube thing right. And if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments section. Comments have been pretty bare lately, so let's get to them. And I hope to see all of you in the next one.